You versus you. That is the key to becoming the idealized version of yourself.
Love yours. No such thing. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as.
Hey y'all, so today I'm here with a video on how to get out of your own way and become the idealized version of yourself, or you versus you, the ultimate challenge of life. So let's just get right to it. First things first, I feel like we all have habits in our life that we see that aren't pushing us towards the version of ourselves that we truly see ourselves becoming. These can be habits such as procrastination, not having discipline, or just knowing that you don't need to be scrolling on TikTok for 2 to 3 hours. TikTok, Instagram, whatever, social media. We all have this version of ourselves that we see ourselves becoming, whether you make an actual physical vision board or you just pin pictures on Pinterest. We all have this idealized version of ourselves. The one that works out, the one that studies when they need to, the one that actually holds themselves to their morals and their standards. And to become this version of ourselves, we have to first write down a list. That's why I named this video You versus You, because this is going to be your past self versus the idealized version of yourself, which is going to be you now. So on this list, I want you to write on the idealized version of yourself, the ideal version that you see of yourself, the person that works out 5 times a week, the person that has their own business and actually gets it up and running. I want you to write down everything that you see yourself as for the idealized version of yourself. And there's no limits to this. It's whatever you want to write, whether it's I have $1 billion, I have this, I have that. Write it in that way. Whatever you see yourself as, I want you to write it on that side of the list. Then on the past self side, right, I want you to write all of the bad habits that you notice that aren't pushing you towards any of your goals, whether it's more health, more wealth, more knowledge. I love that quote. It's from Vaughn, if y'all know who I'm talking about. All of the habits in your life that aren't pushing you towards this idealized version of yourself. Then once you have this list, I want you to look at the past version of yourself and look at the idealized version of yourself. I want you to forget all of the habits that your past self had and come into the mindset of, okay, now I am this idealized version of myself. Not that you will become, you are this idealized version of yourself. You have to realize that you're already the idealized version of yourself, so that therefore you can get the things that come with being this idealized version of yourself. Your habits create your personality. And if you adopt a new personality, which is this idealized version of yourself, then your habits will follow, and then therefore you will attain the goals that you have in your life. Next, after forgetting your past self and coming into your idealized version of yourself, I want you to write a separate list at the bottom, so you can kind of like divide it down the middle, draw another line. This is a separate list at the bottom, right? I want you to look at all the goals that you have for the idealized version of yourself, and I want you to write down attainable things that you can do within your day-to-day life to become this person. So if one of your goals is, I want to work out 5 times a week. Okay, maybe we need to build up to 5 times a week. You know what I'm saying? So we can start with 3. Go ahead and you can write out your workout routine. You can write down which days in your schedule you're going to go and work out. Those are baby steps going towards the goals that you see yourself attaining. And by doing these things throughout your everyday life, you will achieve these goals. When you believe, okay, I'm already a nurse. That's what I did during my nursing journey. When I was studying for the NCLEX, I had sticky notes that said, I will pass the NCLEX. I am a nurse. I put my name and then RN, you know? So I was constantly seeing that every day in the morning, and I was coming into, okay, I am a nurse. So what do I need to do to become a nurse? I got to study for the NCLEX. I got to study all these different systems. I got to freshen up on things that I'm not that strong on so that I can pass the NCLEX and then therefore become an RN. And that is what ended up happening. And what really inspired me to make this video today was I was on TikTok and I had just opened the app, and it was a quote that popped up. It said, this is your sign to start locking in. You know who you deserve to be, so be it now. That's all I'm saying with this. With this list, you're creating habits that you can now be the person that you see yourself being and attaining the goals that you know that you can achieve. Then the most crucial step to all of this is so simple. Guess what it is? It's actually doing the things that you wrote down on the list. And I'm not just talking to everybody else when I say this, I'm talking to myself as well. It's been times when I know what I need to do to attain a goal and I'll procrastinate. I'll be, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it then. When you look back those days, it's like, dang, I really wasn't productive with the time that I had when I was free, when I didn't have work, when I didn't have school, when I didn't have other responsibilities. I had these goals that I want to achieve, but yet during my free time, I'm not doing the things that I need to do in order to achieve this thing. If you want to have a crochet business, you need to start crocheting. It's as simple as that. The clothes aren't going to get made, or the items aren't going to get made if you don't actually put in the work. And this applies with everything. If you want to be a nurse, you have to actually study and pass your tests in fundamentals, pharm, all these classes before you can even get to taking the NCLEX, and then you will become a nurse. And then even though you might not feel like it in the moment, because that's another thing, discipline is greater than motivation. Discipline is always going to be more fail-proof than motivation, because there's going to be times during your day where you're not going to feel the most motivated, when you're going to feel like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym, I'm tired, I'm this. But then that other mindset, realizing that you're already your idealized version of yourself, the other mindset saying, well, I have a goal that I need to work out 3 times a week, and I got to hold myself to this. That's how you build trust with yourself as well. You have to stay disciplined and actually achieve the things that you say that you're going to do. Otherwise, you won't be able to even trust just yourself to get things done, let alone other people. Every day you have to work on the voice that encourages this standard of discipline. When you say things like, oh, I'm kind of tired, I'm just going to sit here and scroll for 2 hours on TikTok. Nobody said that you can't take breaks. Take breaks. But let's do something more productive with that break. Because if I asked you right now, what was the last TikTok that you watched? I guarantee you that 95% of y'all, not even 95, 99% of y'all could not tell me what the last TikTok that you watched was. And that says a lot. You're saving things like, oh, I'm gonna do this, oh, I'm gonna do that. Go and do these things. Stop saying I'm gonna do. Just go and do it. That's the thing that a lot of people miss. They'll be like, I wanna do this. Okay, you can do that, but you gotta actually put in the work to get to that. If you do what you have written down this list every day, consistently, you will reach these goals. You might reach smaller goals before you reach these top goals that are in your idealized version of yourself goals, but you will be making progress to those things instead of staying stagnant and being like, oh, I want this, but I don't want to actually do what I need to do to get to where I see myself being, the person that I already am right now. Those are the 2 keys. The 2 takeaways from this video would be, come into the idealized version of yourself right now in this moment. Claim that. Don't act like it's unattainable or something that you will achieve, or I will become this. No, you are that right now. You're that right now. So what do you need to be doing to be that, since you are that? And I got a lot of these things from this book that I'm reading. It's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I really recommend that y'all read this book. I haven't finished it, but it's already been making me realize that I'm already my idealized version of myself. And what happens to me in my world is from how I see the world inside of my mind. So you have to change your mindset to see the world in a different way, to have different experiences. If you're always thinking negatively, you're going to have negative experiences. We are always creating what is in our reality at all times. It can be even something as, I want to have a close relationship with God. Okay, to do that, you need to be in your word, you need to read your devotionals, you need to spend time with God during your day. That is the most precious thing that we have, is time. What are you doing with your time? Are you wasting away your time scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, watching Netflix shows? Or are you actually doing the things that you know will put you where you deserve to be at? You already know that you deserve to be there. So do the things that you know that you need to do to get there. You have to believe in yourself. You have these goals, well, you have to believe that you can achieve these goals if you put in the work constantly. Even when you're tired, even when you'd rather spend your time doing other things, you know you have these goals to achieve. So you have to spend the most precious thing that we have, which is time, actually achieving these goals. Either you're gonna be your biggest supporter or you're gonna be your biggest enemy. And it's up to you to choose who you're gonna be through your habits. I choose to be my biggest supporter, and I know if you're watching this and you've gotten to this point, you're choosing to be your biggest supporter too. So do what you gotta do. You know who you deserve to be. Put in the work. I just want to motivate you guys and help y'all to realize that you can do it. I know that there's struggles that come along the way, and that's just a part of the journey, but those setbacks or those failures are what is going to push you towards becoming who you know that you already are in this moment. I hope y'all like this message today. If you did enjoy this video today, comment down below things that you have been working on and y'all's progress on these things, or just some affirmations that you want to say, whatever you want to put down in the comments just to encourage others. I enjoyed making this video for y'all today, and I'll talk to y'all in another video.
It's a life that's better than yours.